Welcome back to the Everything Absolutely Fine. So I'm about to react to episode like the season number 3, and I'm only gonna watch it for the love of Kit Harrington. But I just sort of making this random video because I don't know anything about episode season 1 and season 2. So I'm just going to get to know the story rather than after binge watching it. Like I would rather binge watch it later, but I just want to know what the entire story is. So I just thought this would be a kind of a fun video. So I'm gonna narrate you what exactly happens in season 1 and season 2. So this would be just a kind of a season 1 season 2 recap of the entire show industry. So let's start with the video. So before we begin, I would just want you to know who the whole cast is. So this is Harper, okay, this is Yasmin, the two leads probably. Then we have Robert, we have we have Eric, okay, we have Gus, we have Kenny. Is it weird seeing the cast rather than imagining is it as a book? No, I would rather want to know who the actor is. This is Rishi. Okay, let's dive into the episodes. So episode number 1 is called as Induction. You just get to know the people. Harper, Yasmin, Gus, Hari and Robert interview for entry-level jobs on Pierpoint and co-trading's floor. The concept of reduction in force day is introduced a date 6 months from then when the grads would be given jobs or let go. It is made clear that half of the new grads will not make it, and that impressing their managers is the key to success. Makes sense. Like kind of sleeping with them. Hope not. Harper is driven, which appeals to Eric in her interview, but as HR asks for her transcripts, it becomes clear that she has a secret. Ooh. She never graduated from college. An old friend gives her forged transcripts. Already a hack. Daria invites Harper to a dinner with a client, Nicole Craig. While Daria is accommodating, Harper pushes Nicole and Eric might and makes an impression. After dinner, Nicole makes an advance on Harper, which Harper rejects. Sad. Gus and Hari are on the same team. Hari embraces his new role by working all day and night, drinking energy drinks, taking stimulant pills, and sleeping at the office before having a heart attack in the bathroom. What? Uh, After a brief recognition of his death, Pierpoint does brief damage control and everyone soon resumes BAU. Okay, already a death in episode number 1. Okay, episode number 2, Quiet and Nice. Harper struggles with with life in London, continuing to live in a hotel. Harper makes a sale to Nicole. She unsuccessfully looks at an apartment to share, but her personality is never a good fit. Yasmin begins to see the sexist culture of FX desk at a Pierpoint sponsored dinner for the grads. Kenny begins verbally abusing Yasmin, but Harper steps in, picking a fight and angering a drunken Kenny. Yasmin begins to flirt with Robert, leaning towards manipulative. Robert's manager Clement has a single client and is indifferent to Robert's need to impress management for a permanent job. Smart. After Hari's death, Pierpoint disbands Gus's team, leaving him with an uncertain future. When he tries to discuss this with the senior management, he alienates them. Makes sense. Yasmin invites Harper to stay at her house and a friendship forms. Okay, so we have the two leads in a good friendship bond. Episode number 3, Notting Hill. Eric loses a major client, Phelim, after offending his wife, forcing grads to drum up new business. Gus is assigned to Clement now, working with Robert. Harper is now moved into Yasmin's house, who both struggle to navigate keeping their friendship and business lives separate. Harper finds herself increasingly pulled between Eric, her boss, and Daria, her line manager. Work stress manifests outside of work when she purposely hooks up with a man who looks like Sebastian, Yasmin's boyfriend. Yasmin and Harper agree to form a rental agreement. Okay, they're living together officially. Episode number 4, Shesh or Sheesh. Harper has a wild birthday celebration with Robert, Yasmin, and Greg. Her lack of focus the next day causes problems, and she trades on the wrong currency, putting her team at a risk for major losses. Given a chance to break even, Harper instead pushes her luck and makes her losses worse. Harper appeals to Nicole Craig to make a purchase and save her, which he does. Eric later talks to her and reveals that he knows she never graduated from college. The blackmail begins. The two bond over being upstarts hungry for success among colleagues of privilege. Yasmin and Robert represent Pierpoint at a college recruitment event but are stacked with die by a protester. Oh my god, bringing them closer. At home, Yasmin is becoming distant from her actual boyfriend, frustrated by his position, because further alienates his co-workers and insults Clement. And episode number 5, Learned Behavior. A former Pierpoint VP writes an expose on the bank's toxic culture, and management goes into damage control. Eric goes off-site, leaving his grads unsupervised. Gus covers trade at his desk, unauthorized. Harper has a meeting with a felon, a major client Eric lost. Both go too far and get in hot water. An angry Eric confronts Harper in a conference room, telling her he gave her a bonus double the other grads, but then locking her in when she leaves. Clement brings Robert to Netherlands to meet their only client. The meeting goes well, and Clement buys Robert a fitted suit as a gift. Clement reveals that, like Robert, he was born of low class, strives to fit in with those born of privilege. Robert also discovers Clement is a heroin addict. Yasmin attempts to get a family friend, Maxim, who runs a large fund to bring his business to Pierpoint. She brings Kenny, who also gets drunk. Isn't he always drunk? In inappropriate, which is of course inappropriate, and completely humiliates Yasmin and kills the deal. Okay, the deal is also lost. Episode number 6, Nutcracker. Pierpoint holds its annual holiday party. Sarah, the president of London office, makes clear to Gus that she has plans to change the culture at Pierpoint to be less toxic and more inclusive. Maxim's unexpected arrival aggravates tension between Yasmin and Kenny. Maxim pushes for Yasmin to go to human resources while Kenny is jealous Yasmin's privilege. Greg parties a little too hard with Robert and Usman, hurting himself by running into glass door. That would be fun to watch. And having to go to hospital. Harper confides in Daria about what happened with Eric and being locked at the conference room. Daria tells Sarah. They push Harper to file a complaint against Eric. Harper is clearly a pawn in battle and cultures, but signs a document. Eric is fired from Pierpoint. Okay, this would be a wow thing to watch. Episode number 7, Pre-Crisis Activity. Reduction in Force Day looms. Daria and Harper's relationship is strained as Daria tells Harper she might have to give half of her bonus back, as Eric was not authorized to give her that much. It becomes clear to her that in the new Pierpoint, she needs to know her place, which rankles her. Having failed to land Maxim's business and increased verbal abuse from Kenny, Yasmin considers leaving the FX test. As Yasmin's boyfriend, Sebastian struggles to find a career. He tries to throw a fancy catered meal. Although it is her party, Sebastian wants to charge guests, much to Yasmin's embarrassment. The dinner is a failure, but the food is late and grads fight. But the failure is as the food is late and the grads fight, the excess drinks and drugs causing resentment and jealousy to come out. In the midst of it all, Harper divulges her large bonus. Yasmin's boss, Hillary, learns about how Kenny had harassed her because of monitored communication with Maxim. He encourages her to be a team player and not say anything. And finally, we have season 1 finale, which is Reduction in Force. On a riff day, grads present to the managers, but their presentations are also broadcast to the trading floor. Interesting. Bill Alder, the CEO of Pierpoint, drops in for the presentations. In his Robert talks about client relationships, getting orders, positive attention, and a job offer. Yasmin gives an uninspiring presentation, but her boss vouches for her being a team player, and she's hired. Gus reads a note to begin his presentation, a line which was a part of the bet, and then leaves the room. He is not hired. Harper has an anxiety attack and leaves the presentation room without saying a word. Amongst the managers, Daria support Harper. Alder invites Harper to a private meeting with Eric and encourages to recant as Eric is too vulnerable to the firm. Sarah pulls Harper aside and tells her that they can create a new culture at Pierpoint. Seeing how Daria expects her to know her place while Eric encouraged her hunger to succeed, Harper recants in and she's hired. Okay, this would piss off Daria. Eric returns and Daria is let go, of course. Yasmin, who is going to leave FX to work for Daria, is angry at Harper for reinforcing the worst parts of Pierpoint culture. This is so much drama. I can't wait to actually watch this, and that is it for season number 1. So thank you so very much if you're still watching until here. Do let me know thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Remaining you in the next video.